Welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. Dave Morris on this Friday morning, joined by this gentleman right here, Mr. Kent Summers from MIT. Our friends across the street at Creative Oklahoma are beginning an Oklahoma mentoring program. It's an outreach initiative of something this gentleman can talk quite a bit about, the MIT Venture Mentoring Service. Sir, welcome into the studio. It's great to meet you.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning.
You've been in Oklahoma City for a couple days. How's it gone so far?
Great. It's my first time in Soonerland, and I've had the privilege to meet a lot of your local leaders and to educate them in our program and help them understand what to expect, and most importantly, to provide the support necessary to bring this great new program into the Oklahoma City ecosystem.
Let's dive into that a little bit. Kent has a long record of entrepreneurial, starting businesses, increasing revenue at these businesses, which keeps businesses afloat. And now with this program at MIT, helping other people to foster that ecosystem and grow. You mentioned, what, 19 countries, 80 different...
Yeah, so our program started out very modestly at MIT as one of hundreds of other programs focused on supporting entrepreneurships and founders. And over the past 20 years, it's grown into a very robust program. We have 175 mentors supporting 275 companies working toward launch. And it's the MIT community, so it's undergraduate, graduate students, faculty, alumni, and staff of the university that our program focuses on supporting. We don't pick winners. We take all comers, and our criteria for selecting ventures is they have to be serious about starting a new business. And their business idea can't violate the laws of man or the laws of physics. And we're a little bit flexible on the second one.
For more information about what we're talking about, Creative Oklahoma's website is stateofcreativity.com. And I see a venture intake here. So Kent, tell us a little bit more about what you are looking for people who want to participate in this.
Well, sort of the venture selection criteria is up to our sister organization. So we've been working, as you touched on previously, we just finished training our 80th sister organization in 19 different countries. The team from Creative Oklahoma came out to the MIT campus in Cambridge several months ago and spent 3 intensive days in our shoes learning about our program and the operations. And one of the discretionary aspects of our program is the ventures that you will serve, what stage of the venture, what focus, etc. So that is entirely up to the Creative Oklahoma team is who they will serve here.
Creative Oklahoma might have a different model or idea versus perhaps an organization somewhere else.
Correct, and every different ecosystem is different in terms of the ventures that they serve, and it's usually driven by the mission of the program and the stakeholders. And I believe in a very important part of the mission here with Creative Oklahoma is to help diversify the local economy.
I was about to ask you, you mentioned off the top you have been speaking with various community and business leaders here in Oklahoma City. What are you hearing? Or what did you hear over the past couple of days?
Well, you know, it doesn't take a keen observation to see that the system is really going through a significant revitalization. I mean, all you have to do is just travel around here and drive around for a few minutes, and there's a significant reinvestment and revitalization of the downtown area. And it's a very exciting time, I think, for people to live here. And you have to create a really robust support framework for entrepreneurs. Fundamentally, if they cannot find the support and the resources they need to define their own destiny and create their own company, they're going to leave. And if you want to grow an economy, you have to create that framework, and you have to provide the services and all the resources that entrepreneurs need in order to start and grow a new company. a real critical part of those resources is mentoring.
Okay.
You can provide money, you can provide in-kind capital, you can provide office space, you can do all these things. But if you don't surround these young entrepreneurs with teams of folks that have expertise and that can help them provide objective and unbiased advice, teams will struggle. So it's been proven that mentoring is a key component of a robust ecosystem, and the MIT VMS model puts teams of folks that help these entrepreneurs through confidential advice that's unbiased, and that's advice that entrepreneurs are unlikely to find anyplace else. So it's very unique in that regard.
Well, that tells me the entrepreneurs are going to see value in this, because this is, as you mentioned, confidential, but something they're not going to get somewhere else.
It's extremely valuable to an entrepreneur. Having gone through it a bunch of times myself, I can tell you that when you grow a company, it's all about picking the brains of people that have been there and done that. And if you can do that efficiently in a confidential environment where you know that the folks you're talking to are there on your behalf, that they don't have a service to sell you or whatever that is, and it's free, that has immeasurable value.
That has to be huge.
It's huge.
Chatting here with Kent Summers in town. He's associated with MIT, working with Creative Oklahoma. About this mentoring, the Oklahoma Mentoring Service. Let's dive into some of your background. You mentioned mentoring. You've done a ton of that.
Yes. So I've been starting, growing, and selling software companies in the Boston area for the past 25 years. And after the exit of my last company, I was working to turn around a small venture in Cambridge for a group of investors. It took me about a year, and when I was done, I was approached by the co-founder of the MIT VMS program, Alec Dingy, and he asked me if I wanted to do that 50 more times for free, which got my attention. And anyone that knows Alec knows he's a very convincing man. So
you're like, there's something to this.
Yeah, I thought there was. So essentially, I got tricked into volunteering.
However,
for the program. However, that's 15 years later, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made, because it is very rewarding experience. And it's one of the best things I've done in my career. And it turns out that 0 is the perfect number to pay somebody for a sustainable program, and it gives you a lot of power as a volunteer. One's power that you wouldn't expect.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you're getting paid nothing. So it's basically a license to kill. You go in there and you say, oh, listen, I'm volunteering my time. Let's get right to the topic.
Don't waste my time. I could walk out of here.
Right, and there's no other agendas. It basically frees you to really think about what's in the best interest of this venture, and work with the team. And it's especially rewarding from a mentor standpoint, because every time I'm involved in a mentoring session, I learn something every time I go up there. So I learn something new from the venture, and I develop my own personal and professional skill set just by interacting with the other mentors in the program. So it's been just a huge benefit to myself personally and professionally.
Is that because you are naturally inclined to the mechanics of building a business, so that you see somebody else with an idea, you're like, huh, we could do X, Y, and Z, or they need to pursue this, or?
Yes, I mean,
kind of
certainly an important aspect of any mentoring program is you need builders. You need people that like to build things, that like to innovate, that like to figure out how to solve problems in innovative ways, and ultimately how to reach the customer and make a difference. But it takes all different types of skills to build a company. It's not just founders and entrepreneurs. It takes people with expertise in HR and legal and finance and surprisingly enough, executive vice presidents of Fortune 15 companies make exceptional mentors just because the way that they think and how they solve problems. So it's actually the combined experience of a group of professionals and how they interact with each other that makes a big difference in the mentoring session. So it's not just an idea coming from a single person that makes a difference in a venture. It's the interaction of the mentors and how they build on each other's ideas in real time and collaborate in these mentoring sessions. So ultimately, the idea or the recommendation that the entrepreneur receives from the ventures comes from no single mentor.
Gotcha.
It's actually built in real time as a result of a discussion during a mentoring session, and sometimes the ideas are quite impressive. So
very cool.
It's a lot of fun to be involved in that dynamic.
Well, it sounds like you're having fun with this.
Oh yeah.
It seems like you were a guy who was built for ROI. Hey, put in the work. Here's the idea. Where's my return on that investment?
Well, ultimately, that's the acid test of a startup. And as we all know, the revenue, when you're building a startup, there's only two things you care about. There's revenue and there's everything else. So if you have a partner, a founder that focuses on revenue and you have one that focuses on everything else, you have a chance to succeed. And when you have that first sale, that's the difference between an expensive hobby and a startup. That's the difference, revenue. So it's all about getting to the customer, but there's a lot of work that's involved in getting a startup to the point where you can even approach a customer. It's the long nose of innovation, if you will. It's not 2 months or 2 weeks. It's closer to 2, 3, 4 years of building product and model and messaging and team and putting resources behind something that even put you in a position to get a yes or a no from a customer. So there's a lot of work that's involved.
Chatting with Ken Summers, and I'll get you out of here on this question.
Sure.
Again, the website, stateofcreativity.com. That's Creative Oklahoma's website, which has a ton of information, including upcoming events. But in this case, the Oklahoma Venture Mentoring Service. The venture intake form is on that website. Page has it pulled up right there, stateofcreativity.com. Ken, any advice for people in Oklahoma who are watching this or hearing about this?
Well, so I've spent the last 2 days meeting the leaders here in your community, and you've got all the resources that any successful program needs. You've got an abundance of resources here. Everything that a startup founder would need.
What do you mean by that, resources?
Well, you've got space, you've got expertise, you've got great mentors, you've got everything. You've got pretty much. If I'm starting a company, this is a great place to be because you've got folks that are highly motivated. There's the drive to create programs that attract and retain entrepreneurs. You've got space, you've got expertise, you've got all the things that make it viable for a startup to survive in their first 2 or 3 or 4 years. Having seen many of these programs, you've got many great advantages here. There's really 2 things I would leave the folks here with. Support this program. Give them the room and enable them to partner with other programs in your ecosystem. One of the important things that the mentoring program here needs to figure out is who feeds this program with entrepreneurs and what other programs in your ecosystem does this mentoring program feed? So where does it fit in the ecosystem? And secondly, support. Every program requires sustainable support by stakeholders here in the community, and the Oklahoma Venturing program is no different. So provide this program the runway to be successful. The benefits of team mentoring here in Oklahoma, they're going to occur right away. Everybody's going to leave these sessions saying, hey, that was fantastic. The entrepreneurs are going to walk away saying, well, I got a lot of value. The mentors are going to walk away saying, well, that was a lot of fun. I want to do that again. The economic benefits of team mentoring occur over time as a result of the activity and the quality of those meetings. So it's going to take 2, 3, 4 years for startups to evolve. So another watchword here with the program is patience. Just give the program time to develop, and with the right expertise and resources and support and great mentors here in the community, I'm confident the program will succeed.
Very cool. He's Kent Summers, ladies and gentlemen, with MIT's Venture Mentoring Service, talking about Creative Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Venture Mentoring Program. Sir, I've enjoyed the conversation. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Safe travels to you.
Yeah, thank you.